What's up, everybody? Hatter87 here. Welcome back, and I'm back with your dose of Magic the Gathering. So we're gonna do an unbox a Dominaria bundle box. So we are back where Magic story all started, the plane of Dominaria, and so we get Teferi back. We have Karn back, bunch of different characters. We are also getting a ton of legendary creatures in this set, so that's going to be great for Commander gameplay. And for those of you who haven't seen the previous Unbundle Box video, I'm going to do a little rundown of kind of what comes in it. So basically, I already opened it just to kind of save time here, but you get this cool little card box here, and there's nothing in it. It's just like a carrying box or whatever, and you get, it comes packaged, something kind of like that. It's pretty cool. You get a player's guide, which has like an encyclopedia of all the cards in the set, plus it also has a bit of the story in it. You get 80 card pack basic land. You get 10, 15 card booster packs. You get the Dominaria card box, and a spin down life counter, which I can show you guys that too. And again, my favorite part of these is that every single one of these comes with art inside. And I don't know about you guys, and I don't know how well you can see that, but Teferi, doesn't he kind of look like Eddie Murphy? Like, I think he kind of looks like Eddie Murphy. But yeah, so that's super cool. And there's the card pack of the lands, and you get a quick reference guide thing. For those of you who don't know how to play Magic the Gathering, it's probably best to keep this by your side so that you can kind of have a quick reference, hence the name, of how to play. But yeah, that's the spin down, and it's got the Dominaria symbol on there, which is pretty sweet. But we're going to get right into opening these packs, so I will see you guys in just a little bit. Alright, so I've got the packs opened up here, and we're going to shoot straight into the uncommons and rare. So, our first uncommon is Champion of the Flame. This is a 2-drop 1/1 with trample. Champion of the Flame gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. So that's pretty cool. It's not super flarish or anything like that. Pretty straightforward. But yeah. And next we have Spore Crown Thallid. This is a 2/2 for 2, and each other creature you control that's a fungus or sapperling gets +1/+1. So this is pretty good for a tribal style deck of fungi or sapperlings. Next we have Seal Away. This is a 2-drop enchantment that has flash. So for those of you who don't know, flash means you are able to cast it anytime you can cast an instant. So you can cast this enchantment on your opponent's turn, and it says, when Seal Away enters the battlefield, exile target tapped creature an opponent controls until Seal Away leaves the battlefield. So this is kind of one of those kind of cards that you would want to cast on your opponent's turn as they're declaring attackers, so that when they tap the creatures to attack with, before you declare blockers, you would cast this and you would exile one of their attackers. And for our rare, we have Naban, Dean of Iteration. It's a 2-drop 2/1 legendary creature, and I really like how they did the border now for legendary creatures. That's super cool. But it's a legendary creature human wizard, and if a wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So that's pretty sweet. I could maybe see this being paired up with an artifact card from Kaladesh block called Panharmonicon. which states that if a creature or artifact you control enters the battlefield and causes an ability to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So it's essentially the creature version of Panharmonicon. It was pretty sweet. And then a land and a Sapperling token. So our first uncommon here is Cast Down. This is a 2-drop instant that says destroy target non-legendary creature. And with this being a set that is super heavy with legendary creatures, it's in a sealed format, it's probably not going to be that great of an instant. Because more than likely they're going to have quite a few legendaries, just because there are so many legendary creatures in the set of Dominaria. Next we have Thorn Elemental. This is a 7-drop 7/7 creature elemental. You may have Thorn Elemental assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. So that is absolutely beautiful. Essentially, you're having this creature deal 7 damage to your opponent every time it attacks, whether it's blocked or not. So that's pretty awesome. And I do believe this is a reprint. I'm pretty sure. Next, we have the Flame of Keld. This is a 2-drop enchantment saga. So sagas are brand new. They were just released with the set of Dominaria, and they can be a little bit confusing, so I'm going to run this down for everybody. It says, as this saga enters the battlefield, and after your draw step, add a lore counter, sacrifice after 3, after it gets to the 3rd phase of the lore, or of the saga. So essentially what you're doing is, when you cast this, you cast it, it enters the battlefield, and you automatically put a lore counter on it, which activates the first part of the saga, which this one says, discard your hand. So you discard your hand. Now, on your next turn, after your draw step, you'll put another lore counter on Flame of the Keld, or Flame of Keld. And then you'll have the second one here. It says, draw 2 cards. So essentially your second turn, you're getting to draw 3 cards after having to discard your entire hand. The turn after that, you'll have your draw step, and you'll put the 3rd lore counter on here. You'll activate it, and it'll set, for this one it says, if a red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage plus 2 to that permanent or player instead. So you activate it, that resolves on the stack, then you have to sacrifice Flame of Keld, but because this is now a static effect on the stack, if during the turn the 3rd part of this saga is activated, if you deal any damage to, if a red source that you control deals any damage to a permanent or player, during that turn it deals that much plus the 2, even though this enchantment is no longer on the battlefield. So those are pretty cool. Some of them are really sweet. Some of them are just kind of like, meh. This is one of those that's just kind of, it's alright. It's not my favorite one, but it's alright. And for our rare, we have Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. This is a 4-drop, so 2 white and black, legendary creature, human knight, 4/4 with vigilance, and it has mana abilities here that says pay 2 in white, tap it, and create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Or you can pay 1 black, tap it, tap X untapped knights you control. destroy target creature with power X or less. So X would be the amount of tapped knights that you control after activating this ability. So it's pretty cool. Again, it's probably going to be kind of like a tribal synergy thing, but it's not bad. And then we have a land and a really cool goblin token. That's super metal. Kind of reminds me of like Guar or something. That's pretty cool. Alright, on to the next pack here. So again, we're just going to get into the uncommons and rare. Alright, we have Icy Manipulator. This is a 4-drop artifact. Pay 1, tap it, and it says tap target artifact, creature, or land. So it's kind of a control strategy with it, but not my favorite. I feel like it's probably going to be a bit of a mid-range card. Yeah. That's alright. Next we have Sage of Latnam. This is a 2-drop, 1/2 creature human artificer. It says tap it, sacrifice an artifact, draw a card. So this would probably be paired up really well with darn near any card from the Kaladesh block, because in Kaladesh there was a bunch of artifact creation. Or if you just have if you simply have a really heavy artifact deck, this would probably be good, okay in it. It would definitely give you draw power. So yeah. Anywho, Slimefoot the Stowaway. This is a 3-drop, 1 black and green legendary creature fungus. And it is a 2/3 that says whenever a sapperling you control dies, Slimefoot the Stowaway deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. And it says you can pay 4 and create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. So that's alright. I mean, there's definitely going to be a huge strategy with that. Guaranteed. Matter of fact, I have already seen strategies for Slimefoot. I believe I saw them on SBMTG, so Simply Better MTG, his channel. I'm pretty sure he's done a deck tech with this, and I believe MTG Goldfish has already done a deck tech with Slimefoot here. So there's definitely a strategy, definitely a place for this in the meta right now. It's not necessarily like my favorite strategy, but it's definitely a real thing. So, and for our rare, Territorial Allosaurus. This is a 4-drop, so 2 and 2 green, 5/5 creature dinosaur. Hey, dinosaurs are back. This has a kicker of 2 and green. You may pay an additional 2 and green as you cast the spell. When Territorial Allosaurus enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it fights another target creature. So this is going to be a pretty good strategy in standard ramp right now. Because a 5/5 for 4, that's pretty awesome. And you can make it fight as soon as it comes in, and then as long as it doesn't die, you still have it as an attacker and blocker. So that's pretty sweet. And land and sapperling. On to the next one here. Alright, first, Knight of Grace. This is a 2-drop, 2/2 with first strike, hexproof from black, and Knight of Grace gets +1/+0 as long as any player controls a black permanent. That's a bit overpowered. That's a little OP for an uncommon. A 2/2 with first strike and hexproof from black. And it gets a +1/+0. So essentially it's going to be a 3/2 first strike hexproof from black. Interesting. Not horrible. Not horrible at all. As a matter of fact, I think that's probably one of the better uncommons from this set. It's got a lot going on. Next we have Merfolk Trickster. It's a 2-drop, so 2 blue. 2/2 with flash. When Merfolk Trickster enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent controls. It loses all abilities until end of turn. So definitely supporting more of the Merfolk synergy, or tribal synergy, that we got in the Ixalan set, or block. So Merfolk tribal is probably going to be a thing now. And it's a 2/2 for 2 with flash. I mean, you can bring it in as a blocker on your opponent's turn if you need to, or just tap it down, tap their creature down before they are able to declare it as an attacker. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that. And Yargle, Glutton of Urbog. So this is a 5-drop, 4 and black, legendary creature, Frog Spirit. And it's a 9/3. This is pretty cool. It's a gnarly looking frog. Pretty sweet. And for our rare, 2-headed giant. This is a 4-drop, 2 and 2 red creature giant warrior, 4/4. Whenever 2-headed giant attacks, flip 2 coins. If both coins come up heads, 2-headed giant gains double strike until end of turn. If both coins come up tails, 2-headed giant gains menace until end of turn. So that's pretty cool. Double strike deals first strike damage and regular combat damage. So essentially it's swinging for 8 instead of 4. Menace means it has to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. That's pretty cool. And a land and an elemental. Red elemental, 3/1 trample haste. On to the next pack here. Alright, and we've got another saga here called Time of Ice, and I believe, so I played the pre-release, and this is like the 3rd or 4th Time of Ice now. But this is cool. So again, it's an enchantment saga for 4, and when it enters, you start with 1. You put a lore counter on it, and it starts at 1. And it says, tap target creature and opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap steps for as long as you control Time of Ice. Then, your next turn, draw step, add another lore counter, and you go to 2, which is the same thing. Tap another target creature, or just a creature. Tap a creature, opponent controls, it doesn't untap for as long as you control this. And then on the turn after that, you are going to draw step, put another lore counter, and go to 3. 3 says, return all tapped creatures to their owner's hands. So that's pretty cool. I actually like this, and it actually helped me in the tournament a lot. Alright, next we have Goblin Barrage. This is a 4-drop sorcery with a kicker that says sacrifice an artifact or goblin. And Goblin Barrage deals 4 damage to target creature. If this spell was kicked, it also deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. So that's pretty cool. And then we have Garna, the Blood Flame. This is a 5-drop, 3 black and red, legendary creature, human warrior, 3/3 with flash. And it says, when Garna the Blood Flame enters the battlefield, return to your hand all creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere this turn. Other creatures you control have haste. This is really nice. And I'm actually kind of thinking now, like, this card plus the Neban, Sage of Iteration, that if a creature enters the battlefield and causes a triggered ability to trigger, it triggers an additional time. That would be kind of cool, except for if you're already returning the creatures, then it's not that great, but I guess I'm essentially just thinking of this card for my Bolas commander. That would be really nice. Plus giving all my creatures haste. All my other creatures haste, yeah, that'd be nice. Pretty cool. And it's this like sweet barbarian looking dude. Or chick. Yeah, chick. That's a woman. Garna. But she's sweet. And then we have, for our rare, Black Blade Reforged. So this is a 2-drop legendary artifact. So it's got the cool new legendary border here. And it says, equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Equip legendary creature for 3, or you just, if it's not a legendary creature you're equipping this to, it equips for 7. So again, you want to make sure that you're having this in more of like your legendary strategy here. Yep, pretty sweet. And then Mountain and a Sapperling. Alright, on to the next. Time of Ice again. Diligent Excavator. This is a 2-drop 1/3 creature human artificer whenever you cast a historic spell. So this is another mechanic that came in with Dominaria, the return of Dominaria, that historic spells are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are considered historic spells now. So that's really pretty cool. This is something that is absolutely going to be huge in Commander. I really feel like this set is kind of... Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast were definitely thinking more of Commander gameplay when they were getting this set around, because a lot of the dynamics of this set are geared towards, like I said, legendary creatures. It's super heavy with legendary creatures, and it has a lot of support for Commander gameplay, the Commander format. So like I said, this says whenever you cast a historic spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. So it's going to be a Commander mill strategy for sure, which mill is probably one of my most favorite styles of play. So why I don't have a Commander mill deck yet, I have no clue. But if and when I do, this card will go in it. And that butt dough, it's a 1/3. It's got a nice butt. Alright, and then Grun, the Lonely King. So this is a 6-drop 4/2 5/5 legendary creature ape warrior with a kicker of 3. You may pay an additional 3 as you cast this spell. If Grun, the Lonely King, was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever Grun attacks alone, double its power and toughness until end of turn. That is a super overpowered uncommon. Again, it's probably going to be in a ramp strategy of some sort, because you're going to want to make sure that you have enough mana, 1 to cast it, but also 2 to kick it, and then it's just a go tall strategy from there. Basically, you're just trying to overpower your opponent with cards like this. You know, the only other thing would be to give them trample, which would not be hard. The amount of support that trample has in cards is, yeah, it would not be hard at all. But he's super cool. He's pretty sweet looking. Try and zoom in here for us. Oop, oop. Oh, it's blurry. It's still blurry. There we go. No, it's not. But he's cool. He's pretty sweet looking. He's got like this bone armor on, which is awesome. Yeah, so he's cool. And, alright, so we got lucky. We got double rares, which is sweet. And actually really weird because both of them are lands. So we have Clifftop Retreat, which is Boros colors. Boros is red-white. And it says, enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain or plains. And then we have a foil Woodland Cemetery. And Woodland Cemetery enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp or forest. And this is the Golgari color scheme. Tribe. So your tap lands like this, these rare tap lands, normally go anywhere from like $3 to $5 ish. If they are foil, like this beauty right here. Let me get this in here. Ooh, foil, shiny. Anyways, if they're foil like that, they're probably going to go anywhere from 8 to maybe even up to 15, depending on whatever color scheme, whatever tribe is predominant in like your standard meta and stuff like that at the time. So I don't necessarily know. I haven't been keeping up with standard a bunch, so I'm not sure if Golgari color scheme is like super huge right now. But this is essentially an $8 to $10 card right now, and the Clifftop is probably right around $3 to $5. It's probably right around 3. I would say 3 to 350 ish, right around there. But yeah, so that's super cool. I always like it when I get double rares, and especially when one of them is a foil. And then there's the plains. Oop, and a soldier token. Alright, on to the next pack here. So first up we have Lingering Phantom. It is a 6-drop 5/4 creature spirit. Whenever you cast a historic spell, remember historic spells are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas, you may pay black. If you do, return Lingering Phantom from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty cool. Essentially, you're always getting this dude back into your hand for 1. It's alright. Not horrible. Next, Weight of Memory. This is a 5-drop, 3/2 blue, sorcery, draw 3 cards, target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his, or target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. So they've actually changed up the words so they don't have to have as much printed on here, because it used to specify his or her in previous cards, so that's kind of why I went into autopilot on saying that one. But the correct wording is of their library into their graveyard. So again, it's kind of a mill strategy with draw advantage. So again, if I build a mill commander deck, then this card is one of them that will go in there for sure. And Wrath Capation. Wraith Capation? Something like that. Ship's Mage. It's 2 and Azorius, which is white and blue. Legendary creature, human wizard, 3/3 with flash, flying, and you may cast historic spells as though they had flash. That's beautiful. So yeah, Juggernaut has been around for forever, since way back since I can remember. It's a 4-drop 5/3 artifact creature, Juggernaut. Juggernaut attacks each combat if able. Juggernaut can't be blocked by walls, because this thing would just plow right through them. It's a Juggernaut. That's what they do. Next, we have a foil Academy Drake. It's a 3-drop 2/2 creature Drake with a kicker of 4. flying, and if Academy Drake was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So essentially, being a 4/4 flyer. And I'm not even sure that one was an uncommon. No, that one was a... No, I'm sorry, that was a common. I don't know where the other... Weird. Maybe I got mixed up somehow. Anywho, we're going to go on to our rare, and it's a mythic rare, Multani. Yavimya's Avatar. Yavimaya? Yavamaya's, yeah. So, Multani, Yavamaya's Avatar. Something like that. I probably butchered the shit out of that name. I did. But it's a 4 and 2 green, so it's a 6-drop, legendary creature, elemental avatar with reach, trample. Multani Yavamaya's Avatar gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. So that dude can get big really quick. And then it says, pay 1 and green, return 2 lands you control to their owner's hands. Return Multani from your graveyard to your hand. So essentially it's coming back. Nice. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. And then we have the land Interceptorling. And on to the next here. Alright. Memorial to Unity. This is a land. Memorial to Unity enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add green to your mana pool, or you can pay 2 green, tap it, sacrifice Memorial to Unity, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Whew, that's a mouthful. That's pretty cool though. Sorcerer's Wand, so 1-drop artifact equipment. Equipped creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. If this creature is a wizard, it deals 2 damage to that player or planeswalker instead, and it equips for 3. And then we have Memorial to Glory. Land, Memorial to Glory enters the battlefield tap. Tap to add white, or pay 3 and white, tap it, sacrifice Memorial to Glory, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. We have a foil Settle the Score. This is a 4-drop sorcery, 2 and 2 black. Exile target creature, put 2 loyalty counters on a planeswalker you control. I really like this. I think this is a card that I'm going to probably sideboard my for my Bolas Commander deck. Just because my Bolas Commander deck is kind of like Bolas Super Friends. So basically it just has a bunch of planeswalkers in it that really help the strategy of the deck. And if I get to put 2 loyalty counters on a planeswalker I control and get them up faster to be able to ultimate them out, oh, you best believe I'm going to do it. And I get to exile a creature along the way, so that's super cool. And it's foil. It's shiny. And for our rare, Kazarov, Sengir Pureblood. This is a 7-drop, 5 and 2 black, legendary creature vampire, 4/4, flyer. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on Kazarov, Sengir Pureblood. Or I can pay 3 in red. Kazarov deals 2 damage to target creature. That's pretty cool. Get huge quick. Yeah, real quick. Nice. And then land and Sapperling. And for our last pack here, we have Wizard's Lightning. This is a 3-drop, 2 red instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a wizard. Wizard's Lightning deals 3 damage to any target. That's pretty cool. Another Settle the Score. Baird. or Bard, Steward of Argive, something like that. It's a 2 and 2 white, so 4-drop legendary creature human. So, you know, it's an uncommon legendary. Like I said, there is a bunch of legendaries in this set. It's a legendary human soldier with vigilance, and it says creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. So again, this is going to be in your control strategy. And for our rare, Shall I, Voice of Plenty. Say 4-drop, 3 white, legendary creature, angel. It's a 3/4, so it's got a nice bud on it. And it's a flyer. And it says, you, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof. Ooh, that's pretty. And you can pay 4 and 2 green, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So that's pretty cool. I really like that she gives you and creatures you control, but planeswalkers you control hexproof as well. That's awesome. Yeah, it's super cool. And then a mountain and a demon token. It's a 6/6 demon token with flying and trample, and at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice another creature. If you can't, this creature deals 6 damage to you. That's pretty cool. I actually don't have a bunch of demon tokens, but now I might actually get a bunch more.
Alright guys, well that's the Dominaria bundle box. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed running down the cards with me. Make sure to give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate that. Also, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, things I could change. If you haven't shared the channel and this video, make sure to do that too. Let all your friends and family see it. I'm sure they would enjoy it. And that's probably going to be about it. So thank you guys again for joining me. As always, peace y'all.